Hi everybody, my name is Eric. Welcome if you're new here, and thank you for returning if you're a returning viewer. Today we're going to be talking about heaven, which is the best part of all of Christianity. I don't think anybody really would or could ever disagree with that. And we're going to talk about it today. Because many people are under the impression that, well, heaven sounds boring because all we're going to be doing is singing and worshiping God, right? Well, not really. That's actually a misconception, and today, although there will be definitely singing, today I'm going to share with you a lot of things that we will be doing in heaven that don't involve singing. So one of the biggest things that we are apparently going to do is eat and have it be part of a great banquet and feast. That's in the Gospel of Matthew. It's in chapter 8, verses 10 through 12. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed and said to those following him, "Truly I tell you, I have not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. I say to you that many will come from the east and the west and will take their places at the feast with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the subjects of the kingdom will be thrown outside into the darkness where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." So, at the very least, we have lots of food. Also, in the Gospel of Luke, we do see that Jesus, even after his resurrection and his body was glorified, we see very clearly that he eats. So if he's going to eat, then, well, there's no reason to believe that the rest of us won't. The next thing may surprise you, but it's actually work. Now, don't worry. There is plenty of times of rest and plenty of verses that talk about rest that people will have. And it's not the kind of work that is just, exhausting or laborious or stuff where you're just waiting to punch out your clock. No. In the book of Revelation 22, verse 3, it says, "No longer will there be any curse. The throne of God and of the Lamb will be in the city, and his servants will serve him." So A, there's going to be a city, and B, there's going to be servants serving God. Adam, even in the Garden of Eden, was tasked with naming animals and still, he still had a job to oversee the garden, but it wasn't laborious, and that was only the result of the curse of sin. So again, there will be times of sitting out, other times there will be, basically work. We don't know what it will be, but again, it'll be good. Now, more in that vein, we have the Gospel of Luke in this passage right here, in a parable that Jesus is telling. The master, who represents God, says, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Because you have been faithful in very little, you shall have authority over 10 cities." So, again, there are going to be cities, and again, we can debate how many cities and all this other stuff, but either way, people are going to be in charge, either way. And 2 Timothy says, right here, the saying is trustworthy, "For if we have died with him, we will also live with him. If we endure, we will also reign with him. If we deny him, he will also deny us. If we are faithless, he remains faithful, for he cannot disown himself." So again, there is an aspect of us reigning with Christ. In fact, in the Beatitudes, Jesus says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." And again, so there are clearly going to be people who, based on what they did in this life, have either a high status in the kingdom of heaven, and Jesus even says in Matthew 5:19 that those who do not practice the commandments and relax them will be the least in the kingdom of heaven. Now, another thing that we're going to be doing is learning. We see in 1 Corinthians 13, verses 8 through 12, we see this idea, and pay special attention to verses 11 and 12. When I was a child, I spoke like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I have been fully known. So again, and of course in verse 9 it says, for we know in part and prophesy in part, but when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. So there will be a full knowledge, and there will be various things we will learn, but again, obviously, we don't know what those will be yet. But either way, we will be learning a lot more and different things like that. We see here in Isaiah chapter 11, and this is verse 5, righteousness will be the belt around his hips, and faithfulness the sash around his waist. The wolf will live with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the goat. The calf and young lion and fatling will be together, and a little child will lead them. And the cow will graze with the bear. Their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. The infant will play by the cobra's den, and the toddler will reach into the viper's nest. They will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mountain, for the earth will be full of the knowledge of the Lord as the sea is full of water. So not only are there going to be pretty much peace among animals and everything else, and also little children, again, so there will be both little children, infants, toddlers, and even animals. And if you want to know more about those specific videos, I did them right here. But yes, there will be animals in heaven. And it will be the same animals that you had here on earth, such as this wonderful, beautiful cat that I currently have, whose name is Desi. And you'll get to see him there if you're in heaven. But if you don't want to wait that long, you can actually subscribe to my other channel where I devote my attention to my two cats. Again, if you're interested. If you're not, that's okay. Heaven is still for you. And you'll come to appreciate animals in time. And last but certainly not least, many people think of this, again, they may know this, but here's a verse just to remind you. Because there are a lot of things that you may not have known. Revelation 7, 9 through 17, after this I looked, and there before me was a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people, and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. They were wearing white robes, and were holding palm branches in their hands, and they cried out in a loud voice, salvation belongs to our God who sits on the throne and to the Lamb. All the angels were standing around the throne and around the elders and the four living creatures. They fell down on their faces before the throne and worshipped God, saying, Amen, praise and glory and wisdom and thanks and honor and power and strength to our God forever and ever. Then one of the elders asked me, These in white robes, who are they, and where did they come from? I answered, Sir, you know. And he said, These are they who have come out of the great tribulation. They have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore, they are before the throne of God and serve him day and night in his temple. And he who sits on the throne will shelter them in his presence. Never again will they hunger, never again will they thirst. The sun will not beat down on them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb at the center of the throne will be their shepherd. He will lead them to springs of living water, and God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. And, in case you haven't noticed, there's actually quite a bit of people in that region. Now, if you want to know how that harmonized with the whole thing about only a few will be in heaven, you can click this video because there's some more good news waiting for you as well. There won't be any more death, pain, or anything else like that. So, yeah, I don't think you could get any better than that. So again, that's a taste of what heaven will be like. And also, again, if you like this video, you can subscribe, you can like, and you can also share it with your friends. So, again, y'all know how YouTube works. Comment down below any additional thoughts, and I'll see you next time. God bless.